Hi everyone, today we are out in the garden and we are refreshing our wood chips, and we wanted to tell you a little bit about why we do this and kind of show you what we're doing today. So regardless of what you call it, wood chip gardening has a lot of benefits. We started gardening using wood chips a few years back. I know we're over 4, maybe 5 years of gardening this way as much as we possibly can. And we started gardening this way after watching the Back to Eden film. I will actually link, if I can find it, down below to the full feature film of Paul Gauchi's methods of Back to Eden gardening. Some people follow similar methods through Ruth Stout, but whatever you call it, wood chip gardening has a lot of benefits. I would say the biggest benefit to me is that it is little to no weeding. I don't know about you, but I do not have a lot of time or energy to devote into weeding the garden. There are so many other things I would rather be doing and so many other things that need to get done. Because the wood chips put some ground cover down, weeds have a harder time getting through. This doesn't mean that your plants won't be able to get through, because you're going to set up where your plants are. Whenever we're actually planting in our Back to Eden garden, we actually move the wood chips aside until we get to dirt. Well, the really cool thing about putting wood chips in your garden is that they break down over time, and after a while they turn into dirt. So we always plant in the dirt, cover around the plant with wood chips, and a lot less weeds happen that way. Another really big benefit of wood chip gardening is putting to use all of these wood chips that you might have lying around. Or if you're like us, you don't actually have any wood chips laying around, you're able to help find a spot for someone else to put their wood chips. Along with offering ground cover, which means that our weeds are not going to grow up and we are going to be creating more healthy soil, the wood chips also help keep the moisture in for your plants. So when you water, it stays there till the plants need it. We are in early fall right now, and this is the best time to get your garden prepped for next spring. We are adding about 12 inches of wood chips today and hopefully throughout the week, so that next year we'll be down to about 6 inches of wood chips in the spring. Yes, they really do break down that fast. So we were able to find a local tree service who will drop off wood chips at our house for free, but unfortunately we have kind of a little bit of a steep, narrow hill to come down to our garden, and they didn't feel super comfortable bringing the dump truck down to the garden. So let me show you what they did. So they dropped off a whole bunch of wood chips right in the driveway. Oh my goodness. So Matt had to enlist some help. We tried wheelbarrows. The kids took out their 4-wheelers and they have a trailer on the back, and they've been hauling loads down to the garden as well. But it wasn't fast enough. They're dropping it off faster than we can haul it. So Matt enlisted some help. So Matt enlisted some help from our neighbors that were actually borrowing their bobcat for the day, since we don't have anything to conveniently move these wood chips down quite as efficiently and fast as we would like to. Having a great community around you is super helpful when you are homesteading. With so many wood chips being dropped off, our pile is actually getting quite large. So we really need to get this taken care of. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little steam coming off of it. High enough piles of wood chips can actually get hot enough, combust, because they are continually decomposing. This is actually very warm. So we need to get this taken care of ASAP. layered out in the garden. We had lots of people telling us that we were gonna have so many ants in our garden and we're gonna have so many problems with critters. And the truth of it is, I think the wood chips actually might deter the critters a little bit just because of the nature of them not being a nice smooth surface. The bug issues we have in our garden probably would always be there to some extent, and as far as ants go, they really only bother the produce that falls to the ground that we hadn't taken care of anyways. Alright, well Matt is getting all these wood chips down to the garden. It's time I help. See that wheelbarrow right there? I think it's calling my name, so I'm gonna bring it down to the garden and get some of these wood chips spread out. Sometimes I think I got the raw end of the deal. How come I don't know how to drive a bobcat? Skid steer, as my kids would correct me. So after 5 years with a back to Eden or wood chip or whatever you want to call it garden, I have to say, it's so much easier. This may seem like a lot of work now, but this is nothing compared to the amount of time I would be weeding next spring. The best parts about growing in a wood chip garden, I think, are transplanting plants. It is so easy to transplant plants in the wood chip garden because you just push aside the wood chips, dig in the dirt that ends up being soft because it's so decomposed, and you plant.
So this, if you guys remember from our garden tour, we have all these onions in here. We decided it's just gonna be easier if I go really thick down the path, and then and some of it's gonna fall in there either way. I don't want the weeds to take over, so if they come back next year, cool. If they don't, we're not out anything. We weren't expecting this, so. Main thing is, all that up there is gonna come down here, and we're not even halfway yet. We are definitely blessed to have some wonderful neighbors to let me use that skid loader.
These plants are going to be coming down soon though. Most everything has been pulled off. I thought I pulled all the green tomatoes, but I see one here. But today, right now, it is 42 degrees outside. 2 days ago, this time of day, it was 72 degrees outside. I think winter's coming. So I pointed to Matt to help me fill the wheelbarrow, but now I can't get it out.